Imagine one country demanding control over another country's ports. That's exactly what just happened between the United States and Canada. And Canada's response? Immediate, firm, and it could change North American trade forever. Trade tensions between the United States and Canada have taken a sharp turn following reports of an unusual and controversial demand from Washington regarding access to Canadian port operations. The situation has drawn attention across global markets, raising questions about sovereignty, trade competition, and the future of North American logistics. At the center of the issue is a noticeable shift in shipping activity across the continent. While several major American ports have experienced a decline in container traffic, Canadian ports have seen rapid growth. Ports such as Halifax, Vancouver, and Prince Rupert have become increasingly attractive to global shipping companies due to their efficiency, lower congestion, and faster processing times. This shift reflects broader changes in global trade patterns as companies seek cost-effective and reliable alternatives. Against this backdrop, former U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly criticized the growing success of Canadian ports, arguing that they were capturing trade that would traditionally move through the United States. In response, U.S. officials are said to have proposed a series of measures that would significantly expand American involvement in Canadian port operations. Among the reported proposals were the creation of a joint customs authority that would allow U.S. officials to inspect and manage cargo within Canadian ports, preferential treatment for American shipments in docking and processing, and a system of revenue sharing tied to port activity. There were also suggestions that Canadian facilities adopt certain U.S. regulatory practices, potentially slowing down their current high-efficiency operations. Canadian leaders responded quickly and firmly. Prime Minister Mark Carney made it clear that Canada would not consider any arrangement that compromises its control over national infrastructure. Officials emphasized that Canadian ports operate under Canadian law and remain fully under national jurisdiction. The response underscored a broader commitment to sovereignty and independent economic policy. Experts in international trade and law have described the reported U.S. proposals as highly unusual, noting that they would represent a significant expansion of influence beyond traditional diplomatic and trade agreements. Some analysts have compared such ideas to historical practices where powerful nations sought control over foreign infrastructure, though modern international norms strongly favor national sovereignty and mutual cooperation. Economic analysts also point to a deeper issue behind the dispute: competitiveness. Canadian ports have invested heavily in modernization, automation, and streamlined logistics, allowing them to attract global shipping lines. In contrast, some U.S. ports face challenges related to congestion, infrastructure limitations, and higher operational costs. As a result, shipping companies are making strategic decisions based on efficiency rather than geography alone. The situation highlights a broader transformation in global trade, where countries are increasingly competing to offer the fastest, most reliable, and most cost-effective logistics networks. For Canada, the recent growth in port activity represents an opportunity to strengthen its position in international trade and expand connections with markets in Europe and Asia. Looking ahead, analysts suggest two possible paths. One scenario involves increased investment by the United States in its own port infrastructure, aiming to improve competitiveness and regain lost traffic. The other possibility is continued tension, with further policy disagreements potentially reshaping trade relationships across North America. For now, Canada's response signals a clear stance: